Hey chili heads, thanks for joining us tonight. I was just cutting up some green chili that I defrosted from my stash in the freezer to cook up some green chili sliders. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're really excited to cook with you. I'm really excited to cook with you. I've of course got my my videographer in the background, and I do want to thank her because she, does all this work and doesn't get recognized very often. So thank you, Brianna Enriquez. Tonight we've got a couple of special items for you. We're not only gonna cook together, we're gonna make these delicious beef green chili sliders. We're also going to feature a new product. We recently partnered up with Nakano Knives, and so we're going to talk to you a little bit about the Mito series and the new chef's knife that I've been using in my kitchen since I got it. I cannot put this knife down. It's become a new staple in my kitchen, and I'm loving it, and I hope you do too. We're also going to feature we're going to extend this discount from Nakano Knives, and so we'll definitely put that in the comments and the description so that you can access this discount. We're really excited about that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a Llorona Margarita, and this time of year I get really excited about preparing special cocktails. But this is one that I did a little bit of research on. About 2-3 years ago, there was this little bar in Las Vegas, New Mexico that would feature these specialty drinks, all of these amazing flavors and homemade cocktails. And so visiting my sister one year, I had one of these Llorona Margaritas, and I knew I had to find and perfect the recipe, and so we've done that. And so we've got some what I've done is I added some hibiscus flowers to some high quality tequila, and let it sit for about 2 weeks, and then it produced this beautiful red colored, blood colored tequila. And so we're going to use that to make our margarita tonight. I also made some homemade sweet and sour sauce. This cocktail is really about it's a special cocktail, so it's about making some homemade ingredients and using some very special ingredients. The other thing that we're going to put into our cocktail is absinthe. If you've ever heard about absinthe, it's kind of got a bad rap. Some people believe that it has hallucinogenic properties, and having tried it, it really doesn't, but it has a very high alcohol content. So if you do make this recipe, this margarita, make sure that you follow the recipe completely, and just be aware that it does have a high alcohol content. And as you can see, I'm only going to use just a couple of ounces in this recipe. Okay, so without further ado, I think we have everything we need here. So let's kind of get started. Again, these green chili beef sliders are great for maybe a Halloween party, or even a Sunday afternoon football party, or just whenever you want to make a quick and easy snack at home. They're so easy. So what I have here is, again, I've got some green chili from here in New Mexico. It's just some chopped green chili, and that's all I'm doing is I'm chopping it up. And I'm kind of old school. I use my fork and my knife here. Some people put it in a chopper, but I kind of prefer to just go with what I've always done, which is throw the whole green chili on a plate and then just chop it up. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm almost done with this. So can you all tell me, like, you know, it's Halloween season. Tell me what some of your favorite Halloween movies are. I know that one of my personal favorites is probably, you know, the original Halloween. That's one of my total favorites. I also like 30 Days of Night, but I don't know. I'd like to hear from you. Tell me what your favorite Halloween movies are. What do you think of the hat? I can cackle too. I've been practicing. You'll hear that before the night's over. And probably won't like it, but you'll hear it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this green chili aside. I've chopped it up enough. It's really hot, so I'm not going to use the entire bag. I'm going to save some of that. And I'm going to set this aside.
So we're joined by Bobby Johnson.
Yay, hi.
And Patricia Crispine says, I love the hat. Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Oh,
We love that you're here.
Charlie H says that they love The Conjuring.
Ooh, that's a great one. I love The Conjuring. And you know, actually, that series is one of those that, like, they created the first one and then went on to do 2 and 3, and they were equally good, right? I love the whole series.
I don't think I ever saw the sequel.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like 2 and 3. I think there's even a 4th one. Anyway, yeah, that's a good one.
Patricia says, nice cackle. The Exorcist is a classic.
Right. Have any of you seen the new release, The Exorcist: The Beginning? I hear it's really good. I've not seen it, but I want to. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in what I have here is a chuck roast. And I'm going to kind of go through the process with you on this for preparing just some shredded beef, right? And so what I like to do when I prepare shredded beef is I like to cook it in my pressure cooker for a couple of hours. And then the beef just falls apart. It's so easy. But if you don't have a pressure cooker, you can certainly cook it in the oven on about 325 for a couple of hours. It'll do the same thing. You're basically, you know, cooking it like roast style if you're doing it in the oven. You can also do it in the slow cooker, and that will take a little bit longer, probably, you know, 6-ish hours to get the tenderness that you're looking for these sliders. So a few different ways that you can cook it, you know. Excuse me. So at this time, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the new knife that I have been loving in the kitchen. This is the Mito series chef's knife, and it is extremely sharp. It cuts straight through paper. We actually did the little test. It's extremely sharp, and it is wonderful for meal prep, for, you know, chopping up your beef, just anything in the kitchen. What I love about this is that it's this high quality natural olive wood that is handcrafted in Japan, and this knife is actually used by Michelin chefs and famous chefs all around the globe. And again, we're going to offer or extend a 20% discount if you choose to at least go to the website and check out the knives. Look at all the different series they have. This particular one is the Mito series. Again, it's the chef's knife, and it's my favorite. So we hope you'll go to the website, have a look, And, you know, maybe think about or consider purchasing one of the knives. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and cut this chuck roast. I'm using a chuck roast. I'm going to cut it into some chunks because when I put it in the pressure cooker, I want it to cook up a lot sooner. If I kept it whole, it would still have the same effect more or less, but if I cut it into smaller pieces, it's going to cook up faster within the 2 hours. So that's what I'm going to do here. And so can anyone tell me what favorite cocktails you like to prepare for your Halloween parties, or even just, I mean, I know some people don't really believe in Halloween, and I respect that. I understand that. It's not like, you know, it's just really a fun holiday for me, you know. But I understand that some of you don't celebrate that, and again, I respect that. But can you tell me, like, what are some of the things that you like to do right now? You know, even just in the fall, some of your favorite holiday drinks that you'd like to prepare. Is it maybe something that's like, you know, pumpkin infused or chai infused? Anything like that?
So someone in the comments is asking, how do you spell the brand of knives?
Nakana. I think I've got that right. Nakano. Sorry, did I say Na? No. Nakano. Sorry.
One more time?
Nakano. Nakano knives.
Nokono?
Nakano. And we'll definitely put that link in the chat, and it'll be in the description so that you can access the knives. And as you can see, it cuts through this meat just like it's butter. It's so amazing. So, can we talk a little bit about what kind of snacks you'd like to prepare for maybe a Halloween party, or what are you preparing right now? Tell me what you're cooking. I'm really curious, and I want to know what's on your mind out there. I'm here cooking, but I need some interaction with you all. All right, so I'll cut these up into about, 2-inch thick chunks, and I'm going to add these to my pot. Pretty simple here. We're not going to get too fancy. We're going to add these to our pot, and then we're going to add a little bit of beef broth. Not much, just a little bit, because again, we're pressure cooking this, so we need some liquid in there. And I'm just going to add about, I would say about a cup, along with some salt. So I'm not going to measure here. I'm going to add just about a teaspoon just by my hand. I'm going to add that in there. And we don't need a whole lot of salt because we're adding beef broth, and that's kind of salty as it is. So we're not going to add too much there. We're also going to add just a little bit of black pepper. And some of our chopped green chili. Now this is where the flavor gets infused into the beef. We're also going to saute a little bit and serve it on the sliders later, but I want to infuse that fresh green chili flavor. So I'm going to add a little bit in here. And And this is the green chili we chopped up earlier. So I'm just going to add, I don't know, about a half a cup in here. And again, I've had this chili, it's pretty hot, so I'm not going to put too much. All right, so this goes into pressure cook for about 2 hours. And so I'm just kind of mixing it up, getting everything acquainted in there, and I'm going to take it over to my pressure cooker, cook it up for 2 hours. There we go. And okay. So thanks for being patient with me during that process. I just had to get that going. Obviously, we're not going to spend 2 hours together here, so that's going. It's going to start cook up, but I already have some beef prepared. So we're going to go ahead and shred this up and get it started so that our sliders come together pretty quickly. So let me set this aside. I'm just going to wash up my hands really quick because I have raw beef. In the chat, anybody curious about what's going on with red or green these days? Can I just tell you that we're really excited. We've had sort of a new milestone recently. What happened was, you know, I mean, both myself and my videographer, we have day jobs, so, you know, we take some time out of our regular jobs to prepare these videos, and we're so excited that recently subscribers, and that's really huge for us. You know, we're doing something that we both really love, and we're so excited to share these videos with you. And you know, so reaching 7,000 was incredible for us, and we're hoping to continue and share more videos with you in the future. But we can't do any of this without your help, and so we just want to say thank you to all of you who continue to support us and watch our videos on a weekly basis. You know, of course, you need to subscribe and hit post notifications, or, you know, all notifications in order to be notified when we put out a video. We've had a few, you know, bumps in the road along the way, you know, where we couldn't put out a video each week, but we do try to stay consistent and bring that to you. So thank you to all of you who have supported us and continue to be there for us. All right, so what I have here is I already cooked up some of the this roast. It's basically a chuck roast. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and shred up the beef. And I'm not doing too well here, so I'm just going to pour it out. And as you can see, I have some green chili in there. I'm probably going to use that broth to make like a green chili gravy. That sounds good.
So we have a couple chats from Rebecca Crispine. She says, I like Bloody Marys for Halloween. Patricia said, I remember a drink from when I was a kid. It had lime sherbet and Sprite and dry ice. Not quite sure if we drank it or not.
I'm going to use my hands. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I remember that. What is that drink? Do any of you know what she's talking about? I remember that lime sherbet and was it soda? Like 7-Up? I think
Yeah, Sprite.
Yeah, that was good. I remember that. A lot of sugar.
But, I looked it up. It says Betty, or no, it just says lime sherbet with Sprite.
Sherbet?
Lime sherbet punch.
Sherbet.
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 Sherbet. Sherbet.
I remember sherbet was one of my favorite ice cream choices when I was a kid. Yeah, my dad would always make sure that I got like rainbow sherbet. And if there wasn't any rainbow, it would be like, I don't know, raspberry, lime. I didn't really like the lime, honestly. And I like fresh lime, but I don't really like the flavor in things like drinks or whatever. But, okay, so I am moving right along. I'm shredding up the beef. I'm using my hands, so, you know, you can use forks. It's a little bit cooler. It's cooled off, so it's not shredding as easily as when you would pull it right out of the pressure cooker, so I'm kind of using my hands. And what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to take this beef over to my saute pan, and I'm going to add a little bit of oil, using some vegetable oil, and I'm going to saute up the beef with the green chili. From there, we're going to go ahead and toast up our slider buns. I just have some regular slider buns, but you could use pretzel buns, you know, whatever your preference is. I've been doing these little slider buns a lot lately. They're just such a great snack and come together really easily.
I'd also like to share, Patricia said, congratulations, your channel is amazing and very helpful for a single mom, and that she loves anything with absinthe for Halloween.
I'm excited to make this margarita with you all. Okay, so I think I have everything shredded here. Pulling out some of the fat. There's a little bit of fat in here, so I'm just kind of putting that off to the side. And I'm actually pretty hungry. I haven't had anything since lunch, so I'm looking forward to making these sliders. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side and bring over okay, let's see, what else we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and get this started. Now I've got my pan over here off to the side, but just know it's a medium-sized saucepan. As I said, I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil. I'm going to add the beef into the pan and saute it up a little bit. You know, this kind of reminds me of if you've ever made carnitas. Carnitas are kind of slow cooked and then they're fried in a pan. So it's kind of similar, but just a little bit different. A little different cut of meat. And then in my pan, I'm also going to add some of that chopped green chili, and I'm going to saute these up together. Then we're going to go ahead and toast up our slider buns, and then we'll plate this whole thing up and we'll move on to our special margarita. I'm excited. All right, so let me go ahead and, as I said, I'm adding the vegetable oil to the pan, and my pan is not heated. Okay, slight hiccup. I didn't heat my pan. I've got the pan ready for my buns, so maybe what we'll do is we'll go ahead and toast up our buns. So what I have here is just some little slider buns. See how cute these are? I love to use these for quick and easy snacks. So I'm toasting these up on my comal, which is a cast iron pan that I normally use for cooking tortillas. But today I'm going to use it for this. All right, so here we go. I'm able to fit about, don't know, about 3 buns there. So we'll start with that. All right, so tell me what sort of margaritas you all like to cook, and I mean to make. Sorry, I'm into cooking right now, but what are some of your favorite margaritas? What kind of infusions do you like to put into your margaritas? Now I know we did a spicy margarita over the summer. We did a spicy pineapple margarita. That was delicious. But you know, I'm curious. You know, I know for me, margaritas is something that I have like on a special occasion. Not too often, but I don't know. Tell me, is it something that you all like to have on a regular basis, or do you just once in a while, do you ever make them at home, or do you mostly like them out? And if you do like them out, where do you like to have your margaritas? Is it Sadie's or maybe El Pinto? I'm talking about here in Albuquerque, of course, but there may be some of you that can tell us about some special margaritas outside of Albuquerque. All right, let's see.
I remember my roommate making us some pink lemonade margaritas one time.
Ooh, that sounds yummy. That would be yummy. Yeah. You know, there's a local company, and I don't know a whole lot about them. They mostly make vodka, but it's Teller, and they have a lavender vodka, and I know they have like a lavender or a blueberry, so they make these like infused vodkas, and they've made different lemonades with those vodkas. So like a lavender lemonade or a blueberry lemonade. Anyway,
Yummy.
they're not paying me to say that, but anyway.
Yummy.
I do like their vodka. It's very good. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of sautéing up the beef, and I'll bring it over just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I've added my shredded beef in here, along with some of the green chili that I added into the, can you see? I added into my pressure cooker so that it sort of infuses the green chili. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm sauteing this up. I want to get rid of some of that liquid. I want it to be a little more, like almost toasty. So that's what I'm doing right now. And
Patricia says she loves a margarita with Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier. So that would be a Grand Gold margarita. Or, well, a high-end margarita. And so I toasted up my buns here. I've got the little cute little buns here. I'm going to put them right there. Yeah, I guess it would be a Grand Gold margarita made with, what is the name of that tequila? Tequila Gold. Anyway, so that would be a Grand Gold, but it's basically a high-end margarita. So Grand Marnier is a margarita that uses, so it's like an orange-flavored liqueur, and a traditional margarita uses triple sec, and so that's what we're using today. We're using a little bit of triple sec in our homemade sweet and sour. But yeah, it just depends on, what are some of the things that you like to put in there. All right. Okay, so we're almost ready for that. I feel like while that's sauteing up, we can actually move along and make this margarita. I'm so excited to share this with you. And I hope that some of you try it, and maybe tag us on Instagram, or even just leave something in the comments, or send us pictures, show us your version of this. Let's see, I think I'm gonna slice up All right, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and prepare this margarita. And I'm going to slice up some lime for garnish. And I've just got, about a medium-sized lime here. And what I did was I cut off the end and sliced about halfway through the lime to give it like a slit that can fit onto my margarita glass. And then I'm going to go ahead and slice up some of these rings.
Bobby Johnson says, Kirkland margaritas from Costco.
Ooh, I'll have to try some of those. All right, so with this lime, I'm going to use a little bit of it to take and wet the rim of my margarita glass. Just going to go around and get it ready for the salt, right? Because I want to do a salt rim. And I was looking for some black salt, but I could not find some. Do you all know where to get black salt?
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it one year over at Trader Joe's, but could not find it this year. So I wet the rim, and now I'm going to go in and just kind of put it on top of this kosher salt and swirl it around a little bit because I want to get plenty of salt on the rim. And there you go. There's your salted rim. I'm going to move this out of the way and I'm going to bring in my shaker. What I'm going to do is get some ice. And I am going to go in with my tequila here. And I've got to measure that a little bit. So, let's see. I thought I had one of my cups here, but I don't. So I'm 2 ounces. Is it? Okay. Sorry if we're buzzing. I'm trying to not bump against things. So I apologize. Thanks for being patient with us during this process. We haven't done a live stream in a while, and so we're so excited about it that I'm stumbling over myself a little bit. So thank you for being patient. Okay, so I'm going to put about 2 ounces of this tequila in here. So that's about right. And I'm going to add that to my shaker along with some of the absinthe, right? This is the sort of psychedelic liqueur. And I wonder if that is the reason that they gave this drink the name La Llorona, because it has sort of the crazy psychedelic properties, and they relate that to La Llorona. So how many of you know about La Llorona, or the story of the weeping woman? I'd like to hear from some of you. I mean, I'm from New Mexico, and of course we grew up talking about La Llorona, learning about it, and learning about her and her story. How many of you know the story of La Llorona and sort of how that came to be? I'd like to hear from you in the comments. I know you know Patricia Crispin. I'm going to shake this up, and then I'm actually going to add some extra ice to my glass over here, and I'm going to strain it from here. So I'm going to have to get some more ice. Come on, I need to hear from you. Tell me, some of you know the story of La Llorona, right? No? Nobody? Okay, so I'll give you a small portion of the story of La Llorona. So my understanding is that she was a beautiful, gorgeous woman who lived in a small town, and she fell in love with this handsome young man who also lived in the town. He was very wealthy, and they started this, whirlwind romance and fell in love and had a couple of children. Well, the gentleman or the guy decided that, and I think with the prompting of his family, because he was wealthy and had sort of status in the community, he felt, and actually his family felt like he needed to marry someone who was also in his status. And the La Llorona, let's say Maria, wasn't quite at that. She was just sort of a homely, not homely. She was not at the status that he was. So anyway, I'm kind of babbling here, but they had a couple of children together, and he went on to marry someone who was of his status. And this enraged Maria. She was so angry and so hurt that she actually killed her children. And the story goes that she was so devastated after killing her children. It was sort of like a psychotic moment for her, I think, and she cries and walks along the riverbank or the ditch bank and crying for her children for what she did. And so, okay, that's what I know. I want to hear what you guys know. Do you know it as a different story?
Okay, so Connie Montano says, cool show. Rebecca Crespin says, kept kids away from ditches.
Right.
And Patricia Crispin says, you're doing great. You know the story as well as I do.
Okay, so I'm going to use some separate ice here because this is probably, watered down a little bit. I think we've got it cold enough. I'm going to add some ice to my glass here. Well, that's about enough, right? Whoa, okay. And so I'm going to go in with this. Look at that color. Wow, that looks amazing. I can't wait to try this. I've been waiting for this all day.
You should come in front of the table and show that color.
Okay, will do. I'm going to add my lime ring there, and I'm going to bring it over to you so you can have a look at this. Tell me if I'm getting in there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going in. Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Oh, Patricia says she drowns herself in the river.
Okay. All right. So I didn't have it all correct.
I didn't know she did that. Wow.
This is so good. There's hints and notes of the hibiscus from the flowers. And absinthe is a very unique flavor. It has notes of like anise and I think wormwood, which is probably where the psychedelic properties come into play. So I'm going to move this out of here because I think we're almost ready to assemble our sliders here. Let's see. So I've got my plate here. I've already toasted up my buns. See, they're nice and toasty. And my My meat is all, the liquid is almost all dissipated. So almost ready. Oh man, this looks so good. You've got to see this. I don't know if you can see it from there, but this is what it looks like. The meat is so tender. Like I said, almost like carnitas. I think it has a lot of the same qualities. I need some cheese.
So we got another piece of history about La Llorona.
Yay!
Patricia says, in the 1500s, Montezuma was said to hear La Llorona cry in the streets, warning him of the coming of the Spaniards. And that looks beautiful and delicious.
Wow, really? That's interesting. All right, so what we've got going on here is I've got some small slices of cheese, and I'm using some cheddar cheese here, but you could use provolone. You could use any sort of cheese that melts fairly easily. My preference is using cheddar, so that's what I'm using today. But just know that you can use whatever you'd like. And I'm coming over here with a smaller spoon because I've got a big spoon here, but I think it's a little awkward for these small little sliders. All right, so, oh my gosh, this looks good. And if we weren't live, I would probably be picking at this a little bit. So, I'm gonna just put on to each of the bottom slider, so the flatter side, I'm gonna add about, I don't know, I would say about 2 tablespoons, a quarter cup, just depending on how stacked you want this. And so going in with another one. And you know, you could prepare this way ahead of time. So like you can make the meat, you know, a few days ahead, shred the meat the afternoon or the night of making this, making the sliders, or the afternoon or evening of your party. And it doesn't have to be a party. It could just be an afternoon snack, right? And so, yeah, I'm stacking them about, I don't know, there's about 2 good tablespoons on there. And again, I'm using my little slices of sharp cheddar here. And I'm putting those on there. Taking this back over here for now. And then here we are. I'm going to add the top. And there we are. What do you think? Looks delicious, right? Well, you know I've got to go in for a bite. I'm going to give the cheese a minute to melt. It's not going to take very long because the beef is really hot. But, okay, going in for a bite. So good. So delicious. Sorry. The chili has infused the beef, and it's really coming through. The beef is so tender. These sliders are going to be your new favorite snack. Trust me. And I want to know if you make this margarita. I'm really excited. Do we have comments?
Yes, so they want you to come closer so we can see your costume and show us the slider.
Okay. Will do. Yeah, it's kind of flapping over a little bit.
Also, someone said cheers.
Uh-oh. Can you see? Look at the color on this. That is amazing. Gotta go in for another drink. Oh yeah. What do you think? I'm dropping beef all over the place. Okay, this has got to go back to the plate. All right, folks. We have thoroughly enjoyed cooking with you tonight. You know, we'd also like to hear from you. Do you think you'd like to see some more of these live videos? I know it's not super popular as it was, you know, maybe even a year ago, but we do like, you know, hearing live comments from you all and just kind of cooking with you. I mean, our videos are pretty short in nature, but, you know, for me, it's also fun to like kind of talk through and have someone there while I'm cooking, because I really enjoy that. It's sort of like my home, my comfort. So we'd like to hear from you. Let us know in the comments if you want to see some more of these or want to do some cooking. We also have, you know, we're on Instagram, so if you'd like to see some live stuff on Instagram, let us know that as well. And don't forget to try out these Nakano knives. Again, we are offering 20% off right now. I think it's 20% off through the 29th of October, so you have a short window. But after that, we'll still feature the knives and we'll still offer at least 10% off. So go to the website, check out the knives. They're amazing. I am loving this knife.
And what's the code again? Is it red or green?
The code is red or green, yes. And we will also put the link to Nakano knives and the code into the comments and in the description. So it is Nakano knives, and the code is red or green. I am so excited for you to check it out. I think I'm feeling some of the effects of that absinthe. Just kidding. All right, we are so happy that you joined us tonight. Again, let us know if you want to do this again in the future. And I think we're going to sign off. We made these quick and easy sliders. Of course, we cook the beef beforehand. I mean, and that takes care of it for you, right? You can even do that a couple of days beforehand and then just shred up the beef and have it ready to go. And then make these quick and easy sliders. All right, y'all. Have a great night, and we hope to see you again here very soon. Signing off.